Josh Brown, why'd you sell GM?
I'm really just making room in my portfolio. I think the bear market rally is now rolling over, and I want to make sure I'm not sitting on dead money when there might be opportunity. So I don't have any issues specifically with GM. I may end up getting back into it. It's not a macro call. I'm not a macro guy. I just look at the chart, and the stock's going nowhere. It doesn't rally on good news. On bad news, it falls, and it tends to be very sensitive to the overall market. So I think there are going to be better places to be as the bear market rally deteriorates, and I want to make sure I'm ready.
Stephanie Link, why'd you sell NXPI?
Well, I've been balancing out my portfolio all year long. We've talked about how I thought that this market was going to be very choppy in a trading range because of all the things you guys were just talking about. War, inflation, and the Fed. And we're not going to get answers on any of that. We have no idea how the Fed is going to get out of this at all. And now, as you mentioned, Brainerd is being completely hawkish. I do not think we are headed for a recession this year. We are headed for slower growth this year. I'm not even entirely sure we'll see a recession first half of next year. Maybe 2023 if the Fed really messes things up. But we have to wait and see. The one positive I want to call out, and I'll get to NXPI in a second, the one positive I want to call out about the economy, services, okay? We have actually, services is 70% of the U.S. GDP, right? And the services side of the economy is humming. That's pent-up demand. That's reopen. We've talked about reopen for quarters upon quarters now, and that's where I want to absolutely be overweighted in, and I am. We had the ISM services number this morning. That was better than expected. New orders rose 4 points. Last week we had ADP, the payrolls on the travel and leisure services side, 377,000 payrolls were created. The non-farm payroll jobs last on Friday. The private services piece came in at 366,000. This is very important. It's not all gloom and doom. Maybe we're going to transition from goods that were actually the standout to services, and that would be better for the economy. So I do not think we're going to head into a recession. That being said, all of these uncertainties, I want to have a better balance of my portfolio. You know, last year, I was much more on the cyclical side of things and on the reopen, too. I'm still on the reopen, less on the cyclical. I have been adding to some technology names, so like Fortinet and like Meta, because they're both down quite a bit, and I like the valuations and the stories. NXPI is up 183% from the March 2020 lows, and I didn't catch the bottom, of course, but I made good money, and I think it's prudent to actually take some profits in this name because they have very tough comparisons going forward. And number two, supplies are growing. Supplies are going. Analog supply is going to grow 23% from 2020 to 2023 on a compounded annual growth rate basis. Revenues are only going to grow mid-single digits. That's a challenge for NXPI. It's a great company, great businesses. I've made my money. I'm moving on.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.